This is a video response to Radical Grace Gospel's video entitled Question for Brett and Atheists. Link in the sidebar to the right. In his video, Radical Grace Gospel asks atheists, although this could equally apply to any non-Christian theist, to consider two scenarios and whether the outcome of the scenario would be a conversion to the Christian faith. So let's have a look at these scenarios one at a time, and I'll give my response to each.
If you heard the audible voice of God 3 times, and the voice said, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am the God who sent my only Son, Jesus Christ, to the earth to die and to be resurrected for your sins. Believe. And this audible voice came to you 3 times. And you question it because you thought maybe it was a mind trick or something like that. But it came to you 3 times. Would you convert to Christianity?
In short, no. As the person experiencing the events in this scenario, I would have to consider what would be the most likely causes. Before I would start to seriously consider the possibility that the voice is that of which it purports to be, there are a lot of other causes which are a lot more likely to rule out first. Perhaps someone playing a trick on you, deliberately trying to fool you, or more alarmingly perhaps a mental episode of some sort. But even if you were able to rule out all the simple explanations, and were left with an unexplained voice being generated without a cause which could be conventionally explained, what are you left with? Well, simply an unexplained voice that you cannot explain. In this scenario, it would be dangerous for you to use what the voice was telling you to help identify where the voice was coming from. One thing you do know about this scenario is that someone or something is able to generate a voice in a way that you are not familiar with. At this point, you are very susceptible to someone manipulating you. Now let's have a look at the second scenario.
If Jesus Christ himself came in some form or other and stood right in front of you and said, I died on the cross for you, and there was no way around it. It was Jesus Christ standing in front of you. So you were not hallucinating, you were not imagining it, you were not dreaming. Jesus Christ literally came in some form or other and stood right there in front of you and said to you, I gave my life on the cross just for you. In those 2 scenarios, would you convert to Christianity?
Again, my answer to this one is no. How, if someone came to you reporting to be Jesus Christ, could you actually verify that? What evidence could that person give you to convince you of that fact? I can't think, even in principle, how that could be done. But that's not quite what the scenario is that you present. What you're saying is, if you knew it was. Well, even in that scenario, the answer has to be no. I know many magicians who can perform many tricks, which I have no idea how they are done. And even if I met one of those people in person, and I absolutely knew it was them, I would have no more reason to believe that they can do what they say they can do, and if Jesus Christ came to me in the flesh saying he was the Son of God. This does leave the rather tricky explanation of how someone who lived some thousands of years ago turned up on my doorstep in the 21st century, but whether that would lead me to conclude that the Christian God existed is another matter. As some of you may have noticed, this is my first video on YouTube. I hope you liked it, and thanks for listening.